Hey guys, Mr. Harris here, making a quick video to help you out with making your cutting board on VCARVE. So remember, you're not starting VCARVE until you have your sketch completely done and signed off by myself. But once that's all done, we need to actually program the CNC machine to cut out our cutting boards. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, VCARVE should be on all the desktop computers. It's either going to say VCARVE Desktop 10.0, 10.5, 11.0, or 11.5. They're all pretty much the same. It's just the version that was out the year that we purchased those programs. So I'm going to open this up, and we're going to get started with the cutting board. So once this screen appears, you're going to go over to Create a New File. And our job size is what we're going to be editing first. Now, if you remember, our cutting boards are going to be 12 inches by 14 inches. But we need to make sure that on the CNC machine, we can put clamps in all the corners. So if you look where my cursor is, there's going to be a clamp here, a clamp here, a clamp here, and a clamp here. So we need to make our work plane an inch bigger on every side. So it's going to be 2 inches bigger on the length and the width. Or the width and the height, I should say. All right, now next important thing is that our width, our X value, or the X axis, which is here, the horizontal axis, this always has to be our longer side. So that's going to be our our 16 inch piece. So I'm going to type in 16. My height, or my Y axis, or my vertical axis right here, is going to be the smaller of the two dimensions. So that's going to be our 14 inch one. Okay, our cutting boards are going to be 0.75 inches thick, hopefully. To make it safe for what we're doing, I'm going to have you just put the thickness at 0.7 for now. If we make our cutting boards a little bit thicker, we can come back and easily change that, no problem. So we're going to make sure this says 0.7. All right, so let's review. Width, or our horizontal x-axis, is our 16 inch piece. Our height, our y-axis, or our vertical axis, is 14. My thickness, or my z-axis, is 0.7 inches. Next big thing that needs to make sure is that's clicked is right here. The XY datum position is in the lower left-hand corner. And then I'm going to click OK. And now I can start working. All right. So there's only a few steps we really have to make to create the cutting board. It's actually pretty simple. We're going to start with our outside edge. We're just going to create that on our work plane. So I'm going to click here, draw a rectangle. And now this is our very outside edge of our actual cutting board, our rectangular cutting board. So my X value right down here, if you recall, that is going to be 14 inches. And my height, my Y value right here, is going to be 12. So I'm going to type in 14 and 12, and then I'm going to click Create. Now there's going to be a box that appears here. It's right in the middle. We don't want to, well, it's not right in the middle. It's off center, kind of in the middle. We want to center that. So in order to center it, I need to click the Close button here. And then I'm going to go to this Transform Objects menu. And the last one, Align Selected Objects, is the one I want to click. And then I'm going to align material. Well, essentially what I'm doing is I'm aligning what I just made, this rectangular base here, to the center of my material. So it's not going to do anything when I click on it. That's because I didn't actually click on the line. Once it's pink, either a dotted pink line or a solid pink line, then we can move it. So now I'm going to click Align, and it's right in the center of my work plane. Awesome. So that is our outside edge. We're going to make another rectangle inside of here. That's going to be our trench. It's going to capture the juices. So I'm going to click off so there's no pink lines. I'm going to go back to Create Vectors, and I'm going to click on the rectangle again. Now this time, we're going to make our inside rectangle 1.5 inches smaller than the outside. So instead of 14, I'm going to go 12.5. And instead of 12, I'm going to do 10.5. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click Create. Then I'm going to click Close. I'm going to select the smaller rectangle that we just made, and I'm going to do the same thing, align it to the middle. All right, so now we've made our outside, we've made our trench. We need to now make our hole. Okay, the easiest one to do is probably just a circular hole. So you can click on draw a circle, and we could size it up. I prefer just going like this and making it a hole that I think works. So then I click this, and now I'm going to use the arrow keys. I'm not going to use my mouse. I'm going to use my arrow key because I need to make sure that my hole is about the same distance away from this line, from the distance between this line and this line in our hole or our circle. So I'm going to just kind of use my arrow keys, move it over a little bit, right about there. Okay, we have officially made our cutting board. We have to do a couple toolpath things, but this is pretty much done. If you are doing a different shape, maybe you're not doing a hole and you chose to do an oval. Okay, I'm going to take my oval. I'm going to make the oval the size that I think I would like. All right, and I am going to click close. I have to decide, do I want my hole on my longer or my shorter sides? That's personal preference and it's up to you, but I'm going to put it right here. So I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. So I'm going to click on, this button right here under Transform Objects, third one in. I'm going to type in angle 90 degrees. It rotates it for me. I'm going to click close, and I'm going to align this to the middle. You might be like, why are you going to align it to the middle? Well, because then when I close this out and I click on this align again, I'm just going to use my arrow key and put it where I want. And now that is centered on my board. All right, cool. Last couple steps and then we're done. We are going to now program our tool paths for our cutting board. We're going to start from the inside and work our way out. I'm going to start with my hole first. It's a hole. I want it to go all the way through my cutting board. So I'm going to go over to tool paths and I'm going to click profile. What that means is the drill bit or the router bit is going to follow this pink line until I tell it to stop going down deeper into the wood. So let's go ahead and click on this profile toolpath. The start depth should be 0. The cut depth should be 0.71. Remember we said our thickness was 0.7? Down here where it says tool, it most likely is going to say end mill 1/8 inch or end mill 1.5 millimeter. We need to change that. So we're going to click select, and we want to make sure that we're clicking on end mill 1/4 inch and then click select. It's going to change it to that. It's going to take 10 passes to go through that piece of wood and cut that circle out. All right, all this stuff should be good. You can click calculate. Yes, we know it's going to click, or it's going to cut through our material, so I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to push the play button. And as you can see, it did cut through. All right, so we have one piece done. We have 2 more pieces to do. So I'm going to go back to the 2D view, which is over here. Right now we're in 3D. I'll go back to 2D. And I'm going to start with my trench. Click on it. It's pink, so I know it's selected. I'm going to go to Tool Paths, and it says Preview. I don't want that, so I click Close. And now this case, we're going to, oops, it does that often, so click on Tool Paths again. This case, we're going to do another profile toolpath. Click on it. But this time, we don't want it to go all the way through. We want it just to go down a little bit. So I'm going to say 0.125, or 1/8 of an inch. Now it should say end mill 1/4 inch. If it doesn't, again, click select, find end mill 1/4 inch. This is only going to take 2 passes. All the stuff is good. Let's go click calculate, push play. Nice, we have our trench, and I'm looking right, whoops, I'm looking right here. There should be enough space between my trench and the outside of my hole. All right, last little piece, and then we're done. We are going to click on our outside edge, and we are going to go here. Again, we have to close the preview, so close it out. We're going to do one more profile, but this time we want it to go all the way through. So we're doing 0.71 as our cut depth. Start depth is still 0.0, or 0.0, excuse me. Cut depth 0.71. Looking again to make sure that it's an end mill 1/4 inch. It's going to take 10 more passes to cut through. Let's click calculate. Yes, we know it's going to cut through. That's what we want. Push play one more time. You have just created your cutting board on VCARVE. Good job. If you have any questions, come find me and I'll help you out.